Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we back. This is Van Talk Part 2. Van Talk Part 2. This is Trusted Rico. Today's special guest is the homie
Loudpack motherfucking Larry.
You know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very monumentous moment. The reason I want to say that is because I've been knowing the homie Loudpack Larry going on almost 15 years. Everything that's cultivated through Trusted Kicks, through all the businesses I ever started, through anything I ever did, I always ran up got my boy Loudpack. Even if it was an idea that I've been thinking about for a few months, I'll run it by him like, hey bro, what you think about? Think about this, think about that. It's crazy because just earlier, the homie was at the shop. He had a pop-up, Filthy Company, clothing company. It says never not hustling. I went ahead and picked up a shirt. Check him out on Instagram. He made a point talking about Loud. He remember when Loud was 16 years old, used to come to the after spots and was selling Daffy Duck shirts. So this is what I want you guys to know. This is why I want to have him on Van Talk Part 2. Loud was selling stuff before social media, before YouTube, before you could post online, before your friends had phones, back when you only had a house phone, back when your mama used to say get off the phone. Loud was selling stuff. So that's why I said I figure I have him on episode 2 to let us know what it takes to be a professional seller of your own goods, and also he does a little small reselling on the side. But Loud, give me a little synopsis about yourself.
The motherfucking drip guy of the town, you dig what I'm saying? Some good advice I can give for people that's trying to get into the lane I'm in as far as the clothes shit. First, before you get into any clothes shit, I gave somebody this advice earlier. You want to get you a household name or a brand or something that people can gravitate to and fuck with before you want to go into anything else. And I say that because once you get people fucking with just the name itself or a certain brand or a certain genre of shit, it don't matter what you do, it's gonna be successful because they're gonna fuck with you already. And that was the first thing I had to get going before I started selling shit. I had to get some shit going that I know people would fuck with and people wouldn't mind getting behind. You know what I mean? It ain't easy to just do some shit and make a motherfucker wear it and put it on and feel good about doing it when it's another motherfucker name. It's a lot of hate and shit going on all across the world and people don't be so quick to do that. But if you know, you stay true to what you know and don't give up and, you know, stay with your shit.
So what made you,
somebody gonna fuck with it.
What made you choose your brand name? What made you come up with your brand name? Because I know a lot of things about people starting brands nowadays is the name. Because they need to have an Instagram, they gotta have a .com, they got a Snapchat. Yeah. What made you come up with your individual name?
It came from my lifestyle, basically. I always was into weed. That was always my drug of choice, my vice, you know what I'm saying? And I always was into fashion and looking slick, so I figured why not merge the two? But again, like I said before, this shit started off as a hashtag on Twitter because I was smoking plenty of weed, you know what I'm saying? And I was just, you know, just started using the Loudlife hashtag. People started retweeting the shit and it started getting crazy. And from that point, I said, let me put this shit on a t-shirt and a hat and see how it go. This was after I was doing custom clothes. I was doing custom shit a long time ago. This was my first shot at it.
So you started off, you was doing custom at first? Yeah. Custom as in what? Like give us an idea of what was a Loudlife custom?
The hand-painted dip t-shirt shit, I started that in the city of Milwaukee. I was doing, people was bringing me their plain t-shirts. I was putting cartoon characters on it with glitter and puffy paint and hand paint and all that shit. And I was doing hats and whatever you name it, hats, bags, shoes. I started doing that shit for people, you know what I mean? And the shit kind of got crazy. The Mesquite style of shit, I was doing that shit for a while. And then like I said, I always was smoking weed the whole while. So it started off as a Twitter hashtag and shit, it started, you know what I mean, growing like that. And then I put it on a t-shirt and a hat. And then before you knew it, motherfuckers would start asking about where the clothes at, where the Loudlife shit is, and then Loudlife was born.
I think one good thing about having you on right now, Loudpack, is that it's very few people that I can commend and watch and say do a very good job with social media. That's one thing I like to say. In my opinion, social media is the most important thing, bro. And when social media came and popped, you knew that's where you needed to be. And you made sure, turn the air down just one notch. You made sure that's when you need to be on social media. You made sure that you took over your brand name, but ran with the name that you had already created.
Yeah, had to. Bro.
Turn it down.
You know, we was social media before social media. You dig what I'm saying? Like, and you know that, like,
yes.
We was on platforms and shit that people probably would look at us crazy. Like, what the fuck is that? But I'm talking about some of the first little hints of social media before you could even post a full picture of your body and shit like that. We just had words. Like, we was tapped in, and we was the niggas then. So it only made sense to you know what I mean, take advantage of the opportunity, you know what I mean, once the shit got big, when I wanted to do my brand.
What person did you see them go from being just a regular brand or person to creating their own clothing brand that kind of influenced you? Because I can say that what I watched, and this is gonna sound like a crazy story, I watched Loud promote a brand so much, I thought it was his brand. It was another brand that came up in Milwaukee that was in a couple stores for a couple months. I thought it was this nigga brand. Till I came to him like, hey bro, I wanna carry it in my store. He's like, I'm hollering my guy. I'm like, bro, the way you pumping this shit, the way you got niggas saying this Loud brand, I really thought that was your brand. That's how I knew in that moment that you was gonna have your own brand one day.
That was crazy.
But what other shit was you watching? What other people was you influenced by that kind of helped you know that you need to get your shit popping?
Right now, one of my major influences is Burner.
Burner, I like that.
I fuck with his whole cycle of doing shit, his whole, you know what I mean, his whole platform, how he getting this shit across. I fuck with that.
And matter of fact, now that I think about it, the same way Burner came up is how you came up. Cause Burner was big in the weed back when people thought it was, you know, a cliche thing to be a smoker. Now it's cool for everybody to smoke, and now it's cool for you to be Loudpack Larry. Back in the day, people used to shun, of course, like, oh, he LL, no, he Loudpack Larry. Like, why you call him that? Tell them the weed reference, they kind of look at you differently.
Yeah.
But now the cookies and Loudlife are brands that could be household brands, because marijuana is a household brand nowadays. You guys could be on the forefront, and Burner is crazy with the cookies brand, with the clothes, with the weed line,
everything he do, man.
So if they get medical marijuana, or even we get blessed, God blessed with recreational marijuana, are you thinking about starting up your own Loudlife strain?
Definitely. I actually had some shit in the works not too long ago. It was called Gelato. But we gotta go back to the drawing board and iron out some kinks. But
you got growers, or you just go ahead and picking out the buds and going with that?
That was the thing. The first time I was just bud picking, but now I wanna, you know, do this shit on a bigger scale, on a larger scale. So I want to tap in with some growers and kind of cultivate some shit to the likes of my taste, my smell, and, you know, the shit that I like as far as the weed to really push my perfect strand out there. You know what I mean? Something that motherfucker could fuck with. You know what I mean?
And I think this is gonna be a perfect segue. I think. Are you gonna burner the recreational marijuana? Or are you gonna have your own place where you're gonna carry the Loudlife clothes mixed in with the Loudlife strands?
So
okay, I see it.
It'd be a Loudlife dispensary with the clothes on one side and the weed on the other side.
Okay. Well then, my next question is, with the coming forth of your brand growing and the coming forth of the medical or recreational marijuana in Wisconsin, what are you doing now to set yourself up for 6 months to a year? Because I feel like a lot of people being entrepreneurs now are thinking 5 years. When things change so much, we should be planning for 6 months to a year, because that can change your life. So what are you doing now to get yourself ready for that?
Connecting with the right motherfuckers and steady pushing forward my envelope as far as what my brand and my culture and my lifestyle, and that shit brings people like my way. Like earlier today, like as crazy as you said is, I got an inbox today from somebody who got they got a license in hemp processing, and they trying to, you know, further their shit, and they wanted to link with me and see, can we, you know, mash out some shit and make what he trying to do bigger as well as what I'm trying to do. So just even shit like that, just linking with motherfuckers that down with the culture and watching what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That's why I say I'm gonna keep just going hard at what I'm doing, going hard on the internet, going hard with the clothes shit, because people is watching, and that bring other motherfuckers to want to tap in what I'm doing and cross promote and do shit and make bigger things happen.
So let's look on the other end of the spectrum. We tried to help out the starting entrepreneurs, the people who are in business right now. When somebody has a stature or already got a brand name like yourself, how do you know what partnerships are good partnerships? I'm pretty sure you get a lot of bullshit partnerships. How do you know which ones you're gonna deal with and which ones you're not gonna deal with?
I mean, shit, because I weed that shit out. I do it. I call it the who's serious tactic. You know what I mean? And I say, and people who's serious is the people that can handle seeing a message being left on scene and me not responding. But then they see me in the club or see me out like, bro, man, what's happening with that clothes shit, bro? I'm really trying to, and then see me again like, bro, what's happening? Like, and then that's how I know a motherfucker really serious. I get thousands of DMs and inquiries every day, and I can't possibly respond to them on. I don't want to, because everybody ain't serious. A lot of motherfuckers just want the game just to run with it or try to, you know what I mean, do some fuck shit. But I know people that's serious and passionate when motherfuckers take that extra step beyond social media, beyond, you know what I mean, calling a phone or trying to reach out to another motherfucker. Motherfucker really do, you know what I mean, do what they gotta do to get to me, to get that information. And I fuck with people like that, you know what I mean?
And I think that's a good thing, bro. Once again, I think that's a good thing that you bringing up. People gotta be persistent. And that's why I'm trying to look directly at Randolph, directly at the camera, because my boy Randolph is persistent. He made this camera stuff pop to the point where you had no choice but to know that you needed a Randolph photo or a Randolph video. If you wanted to pop, you had to get a photo taken yourself. My boy Loud been getting photo shoots done at the shop.
I mean, if you stop after you lost all that fucking money on eBay, it wouldn't be no trusted kicks.
Exactly,
so,
exactly.
you can't.
And I think that's a good thing the way you look at it. You gotta take losses out here. And I think that's one thing that the younger generation don't want to use to their advantage. Like if you take a loss,
landlord cut you off. When the first landlord told you, no, you can't rent this spot out, or you know what I mean, or shot you a number that was too high for your budget. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be none of that shit. But the motherfuckers who persistent and really want to get that shit, you gonna get it. And you know what I mean? You ain't gotta be disrespectful with it or come off bogus or no shit like that. But motherfuckers real recognize real. That's a real statement. You know what I mean? And motherfuckers recognize real motherfuckers with real ambition and real goals. They want to do some shit that's goal orientated and want to make some real shit happen versus a motherfucker that's just playing and want to just bandwagon jump and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so we did this on the first episode. I want to make sure I don't forget while we smoking this backwood. What we smoking on right now, just for the video?
Right now we smoking Hawaiian Runtz. Okay. You know what I mean? Courtesy of the Runtz gang. Shout out JoJo, shout out LB, shout out Nero. Y'all know what it is.
All right, so give us your biggest loss that you taken in this business game. One of those things that you thought you weren't gonna be able to bounce back from, but you did. What kind of loss was that?
A manufacturer sending me a whole fucking order that was defected. I spent well over $5,000 for it, but I didn't follow the proper steps, which was get samples made first to find out product and materials and things. I just jumped out here first and placed the order, and I got back way more than $5,000 worth of shit that I couldn't sell, or that I had to take losses on, or you know, just sit on because it was fucked up, defective.
Okay, so then in that moment, do you keep the merch and sell it, or did you send it back and get it fixed, or was it unsellable?
I mean, at that time, I could have sent it back, but as long as it took for me to get it, that's as long as it took for me to get sent back.
So you gotta just sell it.
So I went back. In some cases, I go back to my roots. I go back to what I know. That shit becomes customs. It becomes one-on-ones. And you know what I mean? I gotta go to the seamstress. Some shit gotta get bust down and made into a hoodie or into a t-shirt, or something gotta be, you know what I mean? Something gotta give. It gotta get sold. And that's what comes from, and that come from, you know what I mean, where I started.
Put up some parks more too.
With custom shit, you know what I mean? Like, I know how to take a jersey and make pants out of it. You know what I'm saying? So that shit, you know what I mean? Like I say, when you get back against the wall, you gotta do what the fuck you gotta do. But that's definitely was one that I was like, damn, what I'm gonna do?
And I see somebody on the last video, when they came into the shop, they asked me why I didn't give another one of my losses, because I know people like to hear the losses and they want to hear the wins. So I think what I want to talk about is, like Loud mentioned some of our other losses, is at the shop that we got right now. At one point in time, we were not going to get the gallery back. See, the gallery was open for anyone to rent. If anyone remembers, trusted about 2 years ago, we only had the kick side, which is the longer store. The smaller store, people came over every day like, yeah, bro, I'm about to put a barbershop over there. Like, yeah, bro, I'm about to put a tattoo shop. Like, yeah, I'm thinking about putting a salon over there. I'm like, you know what? If everybody think that they're going to be able to feed off the trusted kick side, why wouldn't I just try to talk to the landlord and get it myself? And I think that's one of the things that Lau was talking about earlier, is you got to be willing to take a risk and bet on yourself and be persistent enough to know that once you got the space, you can do what you need to do with it. And then if it failed, you learn what happened to it. That's the good thing about, that was one of the wins. And one of the losses that I can really think about recently is, we was taking a lot of fraud on the website. Let's say about 40 to 50 grand a year. Fraud that we lost the shoe. People do fraud, we lost the shoe. What I had to do was, I had to do the research. I went ahead and got a new program, and now the program stops all the fraud. We probably got it down to like 5,000 a year. So that's the good thing about being persistent, and when you take a loss, you get hurt, you get hit on the chin, but you don't stop going forward.
Learn from your mistake.
What's one of your biggest wins? Because you gave us a loss, what's one of your biggest wins?
One of my biggest wins? Shit. To me, getting a call from Big Mo at Icon. Shout out Big Mo at Icon. And I say that because Probably about a year and a half prior to that, to him calling me, I walked in that store myself with my own shit, trying to talk and get my shit in there, and they gave me like a spiel, like I had to talk to a buyer or some goofy shit like that. It kind of threw me off, like damn, you know what I mean, I know y'all come here, I fuck with y'all gonna send me to a buyer, but at the same time, I understood that, you know, friends is friends and business is business, and it's the way business is handled, you know what I mean? And that just means I need to up my shit and get my shit to a level to where I can handle business, because at the end of the day, the shit is my business. And I just started going back to the drawing board, got my shit together, and just started back going hard with the shit, posting it, making sure every time a motherfucker come in there to buy a jogging fit, they got my shit on to see what's popping. And then before you know it, he called me. And he didn't call me on no trying to consign no shit. He called me on trying to buy. He wanted to see my lookbook, and he was interested in buying the 3-4 seasons of my shit. All the while I had a whole another deal on the table with Playmakers where they wanted to consign my shit, give me like a little trial error. Man called right in the midst of that and was ready to spend money.
Shout out Mo, man. Shout out Icon. Shout out Mo. Shout out Icon.
Shout out the Butter Agency too, man, for putting the whole shit together, you know what I mean, making it make sense. But yeah, man, like that was one of my biggest wins thus far, you know what I mean? Being told no in my mind, and then a year later they calling me, you know what I mean, asking me what I want to do, the ball in my court, how I want to play this shit. That's what this shit for, man. You don't never give up. I don't give a fuck I don't care what it is, you just can't give up. If you really want it and you really want to see that shit, you gotta believe it and you gotta stay with it. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but it's gonna happen.
I think I want to end this episode with one good story. A story that I think Randall has plenty footage of. My boy Loud just had a birthday a few weeks ago. When I tell y'all, this was the #1 smoking event I ever been to in my life. As you guys know, we incorporated smoking on here. It's a little bit more accepted around the world. A lot of people do it. A lot of people partake. If you do not, do not. If you do, we appreciate it. But other than that, Loud had an event that I feel like it was so legendary, it was like a secret. I couldn't talk about it until after it happened. So like now I'm telling y'all the truth. I know y'all not probably gonna think I'm gassing it or exaggerating, but I'm telling y'all from the bottom of my heart. Loud had an event that was unlimited marijuana. Not just bullshit weed, exotic.
All Runtz.
He had a Runtz Party.
We ain't even going, I had to cut you, we're gonna set the record.
Hey, I don't know about the exotic stuff.
It was an all Runtz buffet, you understand me? So it was Hawaiian Runtz, we had Ether Power by Runtz, we had Peach Cobbler, we had Pink Runtz, we had Grunts, and that shit was set out. It was probably about a whole pound in total, all you could smoke. I had a full weed menu, edibles. I had the THC infused lemonades. I had a full food menu, which consisted of wings, taco salad, sliders. Everything had THC in it. Everything was weed infused. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy.
So what I'm gonna have Randall do is add some little footage of that to the end of this, maybe like 15 seconds, 20 seconds, so y'all can see what we experienced on his birthday. I wanna let y'all know, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Everyone, please. I know you're gonna like, I know you're gonna subscribe. Forget that, everybody does that. I want everybody to comment below a question we should ask the next guest, or suggest the next guest. It could be anybody locally or anybody you think that we can maybe try to incorporate, maybe through some nice little meetups when we go to some sneaker cons or something, you know? Somebody you can think of. Comment below. Other than that, like, subscribe, follow Loudpack Larry. What's your Instagram?
Loudpack Larry, all one word on Instagram, or you can follow the clothing line page, Loudlife Apparel on Instagram.
Follow both.
Or you can log on to the internet at www.loudlifeapparel.net.
Go do that. You already know what time it is. Once again, it's Trusty Rico letting y'all know Trusty Houston is coming soon. It's the next couple of videos, Trusty Houston.